Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keegan, and welcome back to another episode of the Supercoach Diaries for round 6. Now, this season is absolutely flying at the moment. We're nearly 6 rounds into an already newish AFL season, and into round 6, and we are looking just okay. Last week, if you can see my scores, I got 2,154, which is probably below where I thought I wanted to be. I was still in the top 17%, so I wasn't too awful, but I want to get over that 2,200 mark consistently. That puts me at a ranking of 34,450, which means my rank has actually gone up to 2,000-ish. So I can't really complain about that. 2 out of 6 league wins. My highest scorer was Adam Trull, who finally came through for us, and my lowest was Parfit. Now, as you can see, if you look at that remaining salary, I've actually got $538,000 to spend, but that's going to have to wait till next round because I've used both my trades this week to get that sort of money into the club. Without any further ado, let's have a look at the team that I'm going to be putting forward this week. So here's the team I'm going to be rolling with this week. We've got Laird, we've got Adams, we've got Otten, Rance, Hampton and Newman in the back line. Laird and Otten, always great. Adams had an off week. That's probably his first not so great week, so I'm going to forgive him for that. Rance is still proving to be I really sort of am regretting picking him, but I'm going to stick with him. And Newman is finally back into the team after some reason getting dropped for 1 week. So we're happy to have Newman back in the fold and hoping he can go close to putting his average up again this week for Sydney. Into the midfield, we've got Dangerfield, who got 120, finally hit a bit of form again, which was great to see, as I had him as captain again. And he came through for me at least, mostly. We had Murphy, who had his first off game for the season, still with a nice high average. Bontempelli was below average. Fife was good. Treloar was great. Beams are still chugging along. Hanbury's finally turning some form around with another decent score. And I actually had Parfit on the field with 51, but he's in my forward line this week, and I'm going to explain that why. So I put Powell Pepper on, who's hopefully can start scoring again soon. If we look at Powell Pepper really quickly in the stats, he's got a break even of 41, so he's going to make a little bit more money, but he's not going to be making us too much more. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have to look to maybe move Powell Pepper on. We'll wait and see. Into the ruck position, we've got Nankervis at 127. He absolutely dominated Melbourne because Melbourne's second ruckman, Jake Spencer, went down, so he pretty much had the ruck to himself. And he was rucking against Jack Watts, who isn't a noted ruckman, and got just absolutely loaded up on hitouts, which is great to see. And Witts with a 91, which isn't why I brought him into the team. I brought him into the team to be getting hundreds or around 100, but 91 isn't an awful score. Into the forward line, Dalhouse had another amazing game. That average is looking really tasty. Franklin had another down game, which is a slight worry. We're not going to jump out of the boat yet, but he is a slight worry. We have Butler in there, we have Ryder in there, we have Parfit, and then one of the players I've brought in this week, and Balich, is finally onto the field and into this team, with Pickett on the sideline. Now, as you can probably tell from my trades, there's 2 people in the forward line that are missing. 2 of the mid-prices I bought in at the start of the season. They've made a bit of money, and one of them's made a bit of money, the other one's made a little bit of money, and he was starting to go backwards, so I had to get rid of him. And that was Roughhead and Hoskin Elliott. Now, Hoskin Elliott had a few amazing weeks. Last 2 weeks, he's tailed off, and I thought this was the time to trade him in. Traded him in, put Balich in his place in the forward line. He's got that midfield forward line connection, which is always really handy. He's due to go up round this week, and with the way Fremantle are playing the youth, Balich is probably fit. He's probably going to be playing a game, which is good to see. The other trade I've made is actually Roughhead, who didn't come on like I wanted him to. He's had a year out. He had a rough year last year, and we can completely understand here at Took time and this Supercoach team that is understandable. So we've sent him away. We've gone, get himself sorted, and with the money we took away from Roughhead, we've put Zach Fisher in, and we've put Zach Fisher into the forward line, and here's my emergency for my midfield this week. Because I've made those 2 trades and traded 2 medium prices down to rookies, that leaves me with a whopping salary of $538,000 to spend on next week. And I'm going to sort of tell you where I'm planning to spend this money. I'm going to honestly say that Pickett here is probably going to be the player that's probably going to be traded out. He's just not coming on. He's got an average of 35, which isn't great. And he's had a few weeks in the first and Carlton. He's had a chance to make an impact, and he hasn't really. So I'm going to have to trade him out with making minimal money, unfortunately. When I upgrade him to either a forward line premium or a midfield premium, I'm not exactly sure. To be fair, I'm happy with that back line at the moment. They score relatively well. If Hampton can keep up around average, maybe a bit higher than average, I'll happily keep that. If all those players in the back line play their average, I can put up with it for a while. But the forward line is the place that has a bit of weakness in it. Butler's probably not going to be there forever. Parfitt is probably not going to be there forever. Balic is not going to be there forever. Ryder needs to pick up his game. Franklin needs to hit some form. And Dalhouse is pretty much the only person in the forward line I feel is really, really pulling their weight. So that forward line does need a bit of fixing. So when I trade out Pickett, it's either going to be to help that forward line, or I'm just going to go all premium in the midfield pretty much from now and stick a premium in the midfield there. So we'll wait and see what happens. Honestly, part of me would love just to load up my midfield and then not have to worry about it and just leave it for the rest of the season. But I feel like that forward line is going to have a bit of work put into it. So I might go for the solid forward premium next round. But we'll wait and see. No injuries occurring. That's my plan anyway. It would probably be to bring in a premium, and I might downgrade another player, perhaps a Power Pepper depending on how he goes, or perhaps a Parfitt depending on how he goes. There might be two downgrade options I could possibly look at, especially with someone like a Parsons or an Ed Vicker-Willis who will play their third game next week, or even Aaron Black, who looked really good for Geelong in their first game. Who knows? I've got a couple of targets to downgrade to, and I'll choose those next week. As far as captains go this week, if you look at the fixture on the right side of the page, I haven't really got anyone. I'm going to probably go Danger as vice-captain because he plays late on in the season. He plays late on in the round, in the fixture, sorry. As far as a captain goes, looking at those teams that are playing there, I might even be tempted to go with maybe a Hanbury as my captain choice. Well, if we switch it around, actually, we'll go Hanbury captain, vice captain. I reckon Hanbury could potentially have a big score. He's sort of built a couple of weeks. He's going to be going against Carlton, who have a pretty thin, pretty young midfield. He could dominate. He could be getting big 130 plus scores, and he plays early on in the round, so he could be a vice captain option with Dangerfield as that captain option, coming against a Collingwood side where he should get a lot of the ball, especially with Collingwood not travelling as well as people have expected. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. No face cam this week. My webcam decided not to work. I tried to turn it on. Wasn't coming up, so I haven't put the webcam on, so it's just seeing my team. I hope you don't mind. As always, guys, make sure you do like this video, subscribe so you don't miss any episode of the Supercoach Diaries. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.